All right. You know those YouTube gurus who flash their so-called earnings on their dashboards? The ones who claim to make thousands of dollars a day with their foolproof YouTube automation strategies? Well, here's a little secret. Many of them don't even have a successful channel. And those who do, they're not making the money they brag about. Some of them tweak their dashboard currency from USD to something like Jamaican dollars to inflate their numbers. Yep, it's all just a show to sell their courses or keep you glued to their videos. After 3 years in the trenches of YouTube automation, I've learned the hard way that most of what they preach is far from the truth, starting from this very first one. Here's one of the classic lines they love to throw around. Don't worry about metrics, just focus on making great content. Sounds liberating, right? Like you can just make videos without stressing over the numbers. But let me tell you, it's about as true as believing you can eat pizza every day and still get a six-pack. Metrics are everything on YouTube. I mean, have you ever wondered why some videos just blow up while others sink like a stone? It's all about metrics like click-through rates, CTR, watch time, and audience retention. These are the secret sauce that tells YouTube, hey, people like this video, let's push it to more viewers. In my early days, I was making videos like a maniac, thinking, if I just keep uploading, success will come. Spoiler alert, it didn't. My videos were getting buried because I wasn't paying attention to the metrics. It's like trying to bake a cake without following the recipe. You end up with a mess. Now let's talk numbers. For CTR, a good benchmark to aim for is around 4 to 6%. If you're hitting above 8%, you're doing fantastic. As for average watch time, aim for at least 40% of the video. If your video is 10 minutes long, you want viewers sticking around for at least 5 minutes. For audience retention, if you can keep 30 to 40% of viewers until the end of your video, you're in a solid spot. So, when they say metrics don't matter, just smile and nod. But in reality, you need to dive into those analytics. Keep an eye on what's working and tweak what's not. Trust me, ignoring metrics is the fastest way to stay invisible on YouTube. You see, this one gets me every time. Just follow your passion and success will follow. Yeah, that sounds lovely on a motivational poster, but when it comes to YouTube automation, it's a fast track to disappointment. I learned this the hard way. When I first started, I went all in on the passion advice. I created tens of channels and niches that I was genuinely interested in, things I was passionate about. I thought, if I love it, others will too. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. Most of those channels flopped harder than a pancake on a cold skillet. Why? Because passion doesn't pay the bills. Trends do. Let's get real here. YouTube, especially when you're running faceless channels, is all about what's trending. Viewers are looking for content that's relevant to them right now, not necessarily what you're passionate about. And when you're not showing your face, you need that extra hook to draw people in. And trends give you that edge. How to find trends. Practically now. Here's the part they don't tell you. How to actually find trends. It's not as mystical as some make it seem. Here's what I do. Google Trends. I start here to see what topics are spiking in interest. Just type in a keyword related to your niche and see if it's on an upward trend. If it is, you've got something worth exploring. YouTube search bar. Start typing a keyword and look at the suggestions YouTube auto-generate. These suggestions are based on what people are currently searching for. Competitor channels. Keep an eye on channels in similar niches. What videos are they posting that are blowing up? Don't copy them, but use them as inspiration to understand what's working. Social media. Platforms like Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit are gold mines for trending topics. What are people talking about? What's going viral? For instance, let's say you're in the tech niche. You might be passionate about reviewing vintage tech, but guess what? That niche has a limited audience. However, if you notice a new smartphone launch trending on Google Trends, that's your ticket. Create content around that launch. Specs, features, comparisons. When I switched my approach from passion-driven to trend-driven content, that's when things started turning around. I remember a channel I started around gaming news. Initially, I focused on older games that I loved. The channel was flatlining. Then I pivoted to trending games and news. Suddenly, the views started rolling in. A typical example of this is the early days of AI. If you know these channels, you'll know what I'm talking about. So, when they say, follow your passion, what they should really be saying is, follow the trends, especially with faceless channels, where you're relying solely on content to capture attention. Trends are what get clicks, not your passion for obscure topics. Passion is great, but on YouTube, trends are the real game changer. Here's a big one. You can make the bulk of your income from affiliate marketing, even on faceless channels. Now let's unpack this lie. While affiliate marketing is a legitimate way to make money online, it's a tough nut to crack, especially if you're running a faceless channel. Trust me, I've tried. Affiliate marketing works best when there's a strong personal brand behind it. Think about it. Why do people click on affiliate links? It's because they trust the person recommending the product. But with faceless channels, there's no personal connection, no face to trust. Viewers are often skeptical about clicking on links from a channel that feels more like a content machine than a genuine person sharing valuable insights. Now, don't get me wrong. Affiliate marketing can work on faceless channels, but it's not as easy or as the gurus make it out to be. I mean, there are affiliate programs that can work for faceless channels if they're highly relevant to your content. For example, if you run a tech review channel, promoting gadgets through Amazon associates can generate some income. Finance channels might push stock trading platforms, while software review channels could promote tools like NVIDIA or Canva. But here's the catch. The earnings from these affiliates usually make up only a small fraction of your revenue. The reality is, for most YouTubers, especially those running faceless channels, affiliate income is at best a side hustle, not the main source of revenue. Those gurus claiming that 90% of their earnings come from affiliate marketing are simply inflating the truth. So, what should you focus on instead? Your primary goal should be getting into the YouTube Partner Program, YPP. Ad revenue is far more consistent and reliable. Once you're in YPP, you can have a steady stream of income from ads. Then, consider affiliate marketing as an additional income source, not the main one. This one has been making the rounds lately. Shorts are the future of YouTube, and long-form content is dead. It's an easy sell. After all, shorts get views fast, sometimes thousands of views within minutes. But here's what the gurus aren't telling you. Those views don't exactly translate into dollars. Let's break it down with some numbers. When it comes to revenue, RPM, revenue per mille, is the magic number, the amount you earn per 1,000 views. For my shorts channel, the RPM is typically around $0.05 to $0.15. Yeah, you heard that right. It's pennies. Even if a short racks up 100,000 views, you're looking at most, $15 in revenue. That's hardly enough to call it a viable income source. Now, compare that to long-form content. On my long-form channel, the RPM usually sits around $3 to $8, depending on the niche and video performance. Even if a long-form video only gets 10,000 views, it could still bring in $30 to $80. That's significantly more income for a fraction of the views. Plus, long-form videos allow for multiple ads, pre-roll, mid-roll, and end-roll, boosting your revenue further. I've experienced this firsthand. When I started incorporating shorts into my strategy, they were fantastic for pulling in views and subscribers quickly. My channel's numbers shot up, and it felt great until I checked the earnings. While my long-form videos were consistently pulling in real money, the revenue from shorts was like finding loose change in the couch cushions. It's something, but it's not paying the rent. Gurus push shorts because they know it's an easy way to get you hooked on quick wins. But the reality is, shorts are more like a promotional tool than a money-making strategy. They're great for driving traffic to your channel, but if you're aiming for sustainable income, long-form content is where the real revenue is. Before you dive headfirst into the shorts frenzy thinking it's your ticket to riches, take a step back and look at the numbers. Use shorts to attract attention if you want, but invest your efforts in long-form content if you're serious about making money on YouTube. Have you ever heard a guru say, "It doesn't matter where you live, anyone can make it on YouTube"? Sounds encouraging, right? But here's the catch. Most of these gurus are based in the US. They have no idea what it's like to run a channel from outside their bubble. The reality is that your country of residence does play a role in your YouTube journey, especially when it comes to revenue. Let's start with revenue. Your channel's RPM, revenue per mille, is heavily influenced by the country of your audience. For instance, an Indian-created channel with most of its viewers from India might have an RPM of around 50 cents to $2. Why? Because advertisers pay less for views in countries like India, where the cost of advertising is generally lower. On the other hand, a channel created in the US, with a majority of US viewers, can have an RPM ranging from 4 to 12 or even higher. Advertisers are willing to pay a premium for views in countries like the US because of the higher purchasing power of the audience. The difference in earnings can be staggering. You could have the same niche, similar content quality, and even a comparable number of views, but the channel targeting a US audience will almost always earn more. This is something the gurus don't talk about because they've never had to deal with it. They're operating in one of the highest paying ad markets in the world, so it's easy for them to say, your country doesn't matter. And yes, while YouTube's algorithm does focus on engagement, your location and your audience's location can subtly influence how your content is promoted. It's not the be-all and end-all, but it's definitely a factor. I even asked ChatGPT about this, and it confirmed that where your audience is located can affect both your earnings and how your videos perform. The next time you hear a guru from the US telling you that your country doesn't matter, take it with a grain of salt. They're speaking from a place of privilege within the YouTube ecosystem. That doesn't mean you can't succeed if you're outside of high RPM countries. It just means you'll need to be aware of these differences and adjust your strategy accordingly. Just copy and paste videos, and you'll be raking in the cash in no time. Sound familiar? It's one of those tempting shortcuts that some gurus swear by, making it sound like YouTube success is just a Control-C, Control-V away. But let me tell you, this is about as true as a unicorn sighting. In reality, it's a fast track to getting your channel flagged and possibly terminated. YouTube's Content ID system is stricter than ever. It's designed to sniff out reused content, and it's gotten really good at it. In my early days, I bought into this myth too. I thought, hey, if it's working for others, why not give it a shot? I started a couple of channels by repurposing content I found online, thinking I was clever. Well, I wasn't. Before I knew it, my channels got hit with copyright strikes left and right. Growth completely halted. Instead of counting views, I was counting the days until YouTube would shut down my channels. The thing is, the gurus who preach this copy-paste strategy usually don't mention the risks involved. They might even show you channels that seem to be thriving on reused content, but what they don't tell you is that those channels are ticking time bombs. YouTube is constantly updating its policies to catch and penalize such behavior, just like the Creative Commons strategy. The idea is that you can use these videos because they're free to reuse. While it's true that Creative Commons videos are legally safer, they're also oversaturated. My experience with Creative Commons-based channels was like trying to stand out in a sea of clones. The algorithm doesn't favor them because they lack originality. YouTube wants fresh, engaging content that viewers haven't seen 100 times before. I tried building a channel solely on Creative Commons videos, thinking it would be a quick win. But guess what? The videos struggled to gain any traction. The views were minimal, and audience engagement was almost non-existent. It was like shouting into a void. The fact is, the YouTube algorithm prioritizes unique content. Recycled videos, even those legally allowed, rarely make it to the top. If you're thinking of going down the copy-paste or Creative Commons route, let me save you some time. It's not the easy win you've been led to believe. Focus on creating original content that adds value. It's more work, sure, but it's also the only path that leads to sustainable success on YouTube. Just hire a freelancer for $10 and they'll handle the entire video for you. This one sounds like a dream come true, right? The gurus make it seem like you can hand over a $10 bill and get a high quality video in return. Well, I hate to burst that bubble, but finding quality at that price is like trying to find a unicorn. Pretty much impossible. When I first got into YouTube automation, I went in with this exact mindset. I thought, I'll just outsource everything for dirt cheap and sit back while the views roll in. Spoiler alert, what I got in return for $10 was usually rushed work that looked and sounded, well, cheap. Low quality scripts, robotic voiceovers, poor video editing, you name it. If you want a video that stands out, $10 isn't going to cut it. What does it actually cost to produce a decent video? Let's break it down. Script writing. Quality script writers usually charge between $15 to $30 for a well-researched and engaging script. Voiceover. A professional sounding voiceover will set you back around $20 to $50, depending on the length and complexity of the script. Video editing. This is where the magic happens, and a good editor will charge between $40 to $100 to bring your vision to life with smooth transitions, animations, and effects. Thumbnail design. You can't overlook the importance of a captivating thumbnail. Expect to pay $10 to $30 for a design that grabs attention. Add it all up, and you're looking at a total of around $85 to $210 per video. Sure, it's an investment, but that's the real cost of producing content that actually looks professional and engages viewers. The gurus make it sound easy because they want to lure you in, but the reality is, quality costs money. If you're serious about building a successful YouTube channel, you need to budget accordingly. Good content isn't cheap, and cheap content isn't good. So before you hand over your $10 thinking it will buy you the moon, remember that you get what you pay for. Don't worry about SEO, just focus on creating good content. Sounds nice and simple, right? Well, it's also a one-way ticket to the black hole of YouTube, the place where videos go to disappear. Here's the hard truth. SEO, search engine optimization, is crucial if you want your content to be seen. In my early days, I was all about making great content. I poured my heart and soul into creating videos, believing that quality alone would make them soar. But after hitting that upload button, my videos were buried so deep that even I had trouble finding them. YouTube is a massive platform, and if you're not optimizing your content for discoverability, you're essentially shouting into the void. SEO is your guiding light in this ocean of content. It's how you signal to YouTube what your video is about and who it should be shown to. Proper tags, keywords, and descriptions are not just optional add-ons, they're essential. They help the algorithm understand the context of your video and connect it with viewers actively searching for that kind of content. Think of SEO as the foundation of your video's success. You can have the most amazing content, but if the right people can't find it, What's the point? By optimizing my titles, tags, and descriptions with relevant keywords, my videos started showing up in search results, recommended feeds, and even suggested videos. That's when things started turning around. So don't let the gurus fool you into thinking SEO is some unnecessary technical mumbo jumbo. It's the compass that guides your content to its audience. Great content is key, but SEO is what gets it noticed. Why bother with all that hard work? Just use bots and automated software to make money on YouTube. If only it were that simple. The idea of using bots to boost views, comments, or automate tasks is tempting, especially when the gurus make it sound like a foolproof shortcut. Here's the reality check. This strategy is more likely to get your channel banned than make you money. I've been down this road before, thinking automation tools would give me an edge. I experimented with various bots to automate tasks like commenting, liking, and even boosting views. For a while, it felt like I had found a cheat code to YouTube's success. But then the headaches started rolling in. The bots led to erratic channel behavior, and worse, flagged my channels for suspicious activity. YouTube's algorithms are smart, and they don't take kindly to artificial manipulation. YouTube has strict policies against using bots and automation software. When they catch on, and trust me, they will, they can shadow ban your videos, limit their visibility, or even terminate your channel altogether. The algorithm is designed to detect unnatural patterns, and using bots is like waving a big red flag saying, "Look at me, I'm breaking the rules." Besides, even if you manage to fly under the radar for a while, what kind of audience are you building? Bots don't watch videos, they don't engage, and they certainly don't buy into your content. You're left with an inflated number that doesn't translate into genuine growth or revenue. While the idea of using bots and automation software might seem like a clever shortcut, it's a risky game that rarely ends well. Focus on building your channel organically. It's slower, yes, but it's also the only way to build a sustainable and successful YouTube presence without constantly looking over your shoulder. Monetization is just around the corner with YouTube automation. You'll be raking in the cash in no time. This one sounds so enticing, doesn't it? Just a few uploads, a bit of automation magic, and bam, you're monetized. But here's the unvarnished truth. Monetization is a marathon, not a sprint. YouTube's requirements for monetization aren't a walk in the park. You need 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. And let me tell you, that doesn't happen overnight. It took me months of consistent uploading, optimizing content, and engaging with viewers to finally cross that threshold. In the beginning, it felt like trying to fill a bucket with a tiny spoon. Now here's the curveball. Sometimes monetization does come quicker, I'll be honest. One of my own channels got monetized in less than 45 days, but that was the exception, not the rule. I hit the right niche at the right time with content that resonated with viewers immediately. It was like striking gold on the first dig. But don't let this give you false hope. I've built other channels that took months of grinding to get those 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. For every channel that gets monetized quickly, there are dozens that require a slow and steady climb. Those gurus who claim that monetization will come quickly are leaving out the part where you have to grind to build an audience. You need to create content that not only attracts viewers, but keeps them watching. And with the competition out there, achieving 4,000 watch hours is a serious challenge. Each minute viewers spend on your video matters, and those minutes add up slowly. Even after hitting those numbers, it's not like YouTube just flips a switch and starts throwing money at you. There's a review process to ensure you comply with all the guidelines. Then, you have to wait for the approval to come through. And even after that, making significant money depends on your content, niche, and audience engagement. Monetization can happen quickly, but that's the exception, not the norm. For most channels, it takes time, effort, and a solid strategy to reach the point where YouTube deems your channel worthy of ads. Don't fall for the idea that you can automate your way to the top. Building a channel that meets YouTube's standards requires consistency and patience, not shortcuts. Don't box yourself in. Just be a jack of all trades and your channel will grow. It's a line that sounds liberating, right? The idea that you can talk about anything and everything under the sun and still build a successful channel. But here's the reality. YouTube doesn't reward scattered content strategies. In fact, being all over the place is a surefire way to confuse both the algorithm and your audience. When I first started, I fell into this trap. I thought, why limit myself? I'll cover everything from tech reviews to cooking tutorials. The result? A chaotic mix of videos that didn't resonate with anyone. My channels looked more like a random collection of videos, rather than a focused source of value. The algorithm didn't know how to categorize my content, and my viewers didn't know what to expect next. In the end, my generalist channels flopped. They struggled to gain traction because neither the algorithm nor the audience could figure out what my channel was really about. Compare that to my niche-focused channels. When I finally narrowed down my content to one specific area, whether it was finance tips, gaming news, or tech reviews, things started to click. The algorithm knew who to recommend my videos to, and viewers began to see my channel as a go-to resource for that particular topic. Slowly but surely, I built a loyal audience who knew exactly what kind of content they'd get when they hit that subscribe button. Having a niche doesn't mean you're stuck talking about the same thing forever. It just means you have a focused theme that ties your content together. It helps the algorithm understand where to place your videos and helps viewers know why they should keep coming back. If you're thinking of being a jack of all trades on YouTube, think again. A scattered content strategy is a recipe for confusion. Instead, focus on a niche that you can dive deep into and become known for. Trust me, having a niche isn't limiting. It's the key to consistent growth. Just be consistent, and success will follow. It's one of the most common pieces of advice out there. While consistency is important, it's far from the full picture. If you're churning out videos like a content factory, but ignoring quality, relevance, and engagement, consistency alone won't get you anywhere. Trust me, I learned this the hard way. When I first started, I was laser focused on uploading regularly. I thought, as long as I keep the content coming, the growth will come. So I cranked out videos like a machine, believing that frequency was the magic bullet. But guess what? Consistently uploading mediocre content didn't lead to growth. It led to burnout. My views plateaued and my audience wasn't engaging. Why? Because the content wasn't delivering value, and the audience could tell. Consistency matters, but it's not enough if the content you're consistently putting out isn't resonating. You also need quality, content that offers real value to your viewers. You need relevance, topics that matter to your audience and are timely within your niche. Researching topics, improving my editing skills, and crafting engaging scripts. When I combine consistency with quality and relevance, that's when I started to see real growth. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that consistency alone will get you there. Consistently delivering value is what makes the difference. Just outsource everything, sit back, and watch the money roll in. Sounds like the ultimate dream, doesn't it? The gurus make it seem like you can just hand off all the work and go hands off while the cash piles up. But here's the reality. While outsourcing can definitely lighten the load, it's not a magic pill that lets you disappear. In the beginning, I was all in on this idea. I hired freelancers for script writing, voiceovers, editing, thumbnails, you name it. I thought, great, now I can just relax and let others do the work. But soon enough, I noticed a drop in content quality. The videos fell off. They didn't have that spark that originally attracted viewers. My hands-off approach was leading to a hands-off audience. There you have it. The biggest lies the YouTube gurus have been selling you. They paint a picture of easy success, quick money, and effortless growth, but the reality is far more complex. YouTube automation isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a long-term commitment that requires strategy, effort, and a willingness to learn from your mistakes. I've been through the ups and downs, from falling for these myths myself to figuring out what actually works. You can succeed with YouTube automation, but it's not about shortcuts or magic formulas. It's about understanding the platform, delivering real value, and staying adaptable in an ever-changing landscape. So the next time a guru tells you it's all sunshine and rainbows, take it with a grain of salt. Success on YouTube takes time, effort, and a bit of trial and error. But if you're willing to put in the work, the rewards are there for the taking. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more insights and tips on YouTube automation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.